She was running. Eyes red as the setting sun, breath ragged, heart pounding. The sky burned with the color of fire, as if it too bore witness to the injustice. Shouting rose from the fields. Accusations, fear, superstition dressed as righteousness. She had been found alone again, kneeling beside the river, whispering to reeds. That was all they needed. Which? The boys, 6 of them, chased her through the village paths. Some elders spoke, but their pleas were drowned out by the frenzy. The mothers cried too, their wails lost in the shouting. Only one voice cried loudest, her mother's, hoarse, desperate, ignored. She ran barefoot, the dry earth slicing her soles. Her thin dress clung to her skin. Her braids flew behind her like dark ropes of smoke. But she didn't scream. She didn't plead, but they caught up with her. They dragged her by her braids to the village square. She was born under an eclipse. One boy spat. She speaks to animals. She dreams too loud, another whispered. They bound her, poured kerosene, ignited the match. The fire took her body, but something older, deeper, darker took her spirit. Her spirit did not die. Oji River High School stood proud of the heart of Oji Village. Respected, orderly, untouched by change. That changed the day she arrived. It rained like the sky was grieving, heavier than it had in months. Thunder rolled through the clouds like a warning. Her name was Ijeoma. She wore a long gray uniform, black gloves, and a plain cloth mask that covered the bottom half of her face. Her hair was woven into tight black braids. Her eyes said everything. Not sadness, not fear, something deeper, older, like she'd seen things no one else in the school could understand. Nobody knew where she came from. The principal only said, "She's a transfer, a quiet girl. Treat her kindly." But in Oji River High, kindness was rare, especially for someone strange. Ijeoma never spoke, not in class, not at lunch, not even during roll call. She just stared. They started calling her the ghost girl. And like any story about a ghost, it didn't take long before things started to go wrong. The rumors started small. A bird dropped dead outside the class window when Ijeoma walked past. The fire alarm went off for no reason when she entered the toilet. The school generator refused to start every time she was near. Okoye and his friends, always the ringleaders of chaos, decided to have fun with it. "Bro, she must be a witch," said AJ. Okoye laughed. "Only one way to find out. We pull off her mask." "No lie. I heard if you hear her voice, you die." Boma whispered. Okoye snorted. "Then let me be the first victim." It happened on a Thursday, after school, when the buildings were nearly empty. Okoye and his crew cornered Ijeoma behind the science lab. "Hey, ghost girl," he taunted. "Say something. Meow like a cat. Bark like a dog. Anything." She just stared. Her eyes were calm. Too calm. Okoye stepped closer. "Maybe your mouth is full of teeth. Maybe you're hiding something nasty." His hand moved toward her mask. AJ and Boma hesitated. "Okoye, maybe we shouldn't." "Shut up," he growled, grabbing the edge of her mask. With one swift motion, he yanked it off. Silence. She wasn't deformed. No hideous mouth. No sharp teeth. Just pale lips, thin and closed. Okoye laughed. "Look, she's not even..." Her mouth opened. No one saw her speak. No one heard her voice. But they heard something. A low hum, like a swarm of bees in your skull. A pressure in the air, like a balloon about to burst. Then came the scream, not hers, but Okoye's. He dropped to the ground, clutching his head, red fluid pouring from his nose and ears. AJ turned to run, but his legs gave out. Boma screamed, but no sound came from his mouth. Then Ijeoma put her mask back on and walked away. Okoye didn't die, but he never woke up either. He was rushed to the hospital and placed on life support. Doctors said it was neurological trauma. His brain showed signs of intense pressure, but there was no known cause. The bleeding from his ears and nose unexplained. AJ and Boma were found shaking the back of the building, unable to speak. Literally, their vocal cords were paralyzed. When asked what happened, they would only write one thing. She showed us the truth. The principal called an elderly woman, Mama Nena, a traditional priestess known for solving strange cases. She was skeptical at first, until she met Ijeoma. She found the girl standing in the hallway, staring out a window. "I see," Mama Nena whispered. When asked to explain, she turned to principal and said, "This child is not just a child. She is a vessel." "A vessel for what?" the principal asked. "A punishment. A curse that walks. She has been touched by the gods." Mama Nena explained that years ago, in a village far from Oji River, a girl was burned alive by a group of teenage boys for being possessed. Her only crime? She was born during an eclipse and rarely spoke. Her name was Eve. She had been different from the start, walking alone in forests, speaking to animals, always quiet but never frightened. The boys who burned her said she gave them nightmares, that her silence made them feel exposed. She was bound and dragged from her hut during the dry season. Her mother wept until her voice cracked. They poured kerosene, laughed, ignored the elders' and mother's pleas. The flames rose. The screams carried for miles. The village kept her death quiet, said it was an accident, but her spirit never rested. It was said that one day she would return, not as a ghost, but as a girl, a real girl, to test those who mock the quiet, those who laugh at the different. She doesn't kill, Mama Nena said. She reveals. Silent, calm, untouchable. Now no one mocked her. They gave her space. Some avoided eye contact. Others whispered prayers when she passed. But one girl, A.B., the self-proclaimed queen of the school, wasn't afraid. "She's just playing with you all," A.B. said loudly one afternoon. "You all are fools. If she's cursed, then so am I." She waited by the school gate and followed Ijeoma home. It was near dusk when A.B. caught up to her. The rain had just begun again, soft this time, like the sky was whispering. "Hey," A.B. said, dragging her by her braids. "I'm talking to you." Ijeoma didn't stop walking. A.B. walked beside her. "You think you're better than the rest of us? Walking around with your mask like you're a queen of shadows or something." Still no reply. "I bet it's all fake. The boys were just weak. You probably scared them with some trick." At that, Ijeoma stopped. She turned to A.B. Her eyes shimmered, reflecting the wet streetlights. She didn't move. She didn't blink. A.B. took a shaky breath. Suddenly the bravado drained from her. "Say something," she whispered. "If you're real, say something." Ijeoma said nothing, but A.B. flinched. The hum, low, distant, like it came from inside her own bones. She stumbled back. What the hell? Ijeoma turned and walked into the rain. The next day, A.B. didn't come to school. Her parents found her crying under her bed, muttering the same sentence over and over. "She showed me myself. I can't unsee it." After that, things changed. Students began to whisper about the hum. A boy who cheated on a test heard it in the middle of the exam. He ran out, screaming, clutching his ears. A girl who bullied a junior felt her voice crack mid-insult, followed by a faint vibration that left her teeth aching for hours. Teachers began noticing, too. Whispers of nausea, dizziness, ringing in the ears, always around the same students. Always when someone lied or laughed cruelly. One morning, with fear now completely replacing curiosity, the principal begged Mama Nena to remove Ijeoma from the school. "Let her be someone else's problem," he said. But when they went to her house, she was gone without a trace. Her uniform hung neatly on the chair, her mask folded on her bed. The room smelled of earth and rain. On the wall, scrawled in charcoal, were 6 words. "What you fear is within you." No one saw Ijeoma again, but it was like Ijeoma had left something behind. A seed of truth that grew in silence, but a memory alive, a reckoning still unfolding, wherever cruelty dares to hide behind laughter. Strange things began to happen, not fear, not panic, but change. Okoye's parents started a foundation for victims of bullying. AJ and Boma, still silent, began volunteering at the local clinic, comforting children who were too scared to speak. AB slowly recovered, but she returned a quieter version of herself, gentler, humble, and over time, the school changed too. Morning assemblies began with a moment of silence. Students helped instead of mocked. When a shy boy named Namdi transferred in, no one laughed at his stutter. They listened. It was as if Ijeoma had planted something, not terror, but truth, a mirror the school couldn't ignore. Some say she was never meant to stay, that she wasn't a punishment, but a reckoning, a way for the forgotten to be seen again. Years later, in a different town, a girl arrived on the first day of school. She wore a plain uniform, black gloves, and a simple cloth mask. She never spoke, but when she walked past, the birds fell silent, the wind shifted, and the hum, soft, familiar, returned. Not everyone noticed, but the quiet ones did. They smiled, because they knew she had come for them too. What you ridicule may be the thing that reveals your deepest shame. Respect the silent, for they often hold the loudest truths. In a world that praises noise, remember, some voices are silenced before they ever get the chance to speak. Their pain lingers. Their silence is not weakness. It is memory, history, warning. Treat the different with dignity. Listen to the unheard. What we fear in others often reflects what we fail to face in ourselves. The world does not need more noise. It needs more understanding. The curse is not the girl. It is the cruelty that called her forth. Years later, students still remember, even the new ones. They speak of Ijeoma not with fear, but with a wary reverence. And when someone is mocked for being different, all it takes is a whisper. Don't forget the girl in the mask. And in those moments, silence wins. If you've stayed this far, thank you. Stories like this aren't just meant to scare. They're meant to reflect. If this story resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, and subscribe for more tales that don't just haunt, but make you reflect.